They're going to go 3 wide.
And Andretti car moving up here at Mid-Ohio.
Turn number 4, side by side through the corner.
Remus BK and Robert McGinnis, a dead heat at the exit of turn number 2. Side by side, and Oliver Askew scores.
Welcome back once again to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Those of you who have tuned in throughout these last couple of days here on the Road to Indy TV app or on one of the series websites, we're thrilled to have you with us. My name's Rob Howden, once again set to go for a second round event of what is a triple header here at IMS. Of course, this track, the iconic facility in Speedway, Indiana. It is warming up significantly from what it was earlier today with 59 degrees when we got here for practice, for qualifying rather, for both categories for round number 2. 73 degrees and sunny right now here in Speedway, and the humidity down to about 47% now as well. 4 races on the docket for today, one already in the books. If you tuned in, you saw that Eduardo Barrichello from Pabst Racing able to back up his victory from Thursday. Again, this particular weekend of Thursday, Friday special event, the standalone event here for the Road to Indy alongside the Battery Tender Global MX5 Cup Series. All the programs under the Anderson Promotions banner. And again, Barrichello with that win earlier today in USF 2000. Reese Gold finishing in second spot. Kiko Porto, rather. Number of drivers able to work their way to the front in that particular category. Christian Brooks actually was there as well. It was Jack William Miller who finished second. Jack William actually really putting the pressure on Eduardo Barrichello at the end. In fact, I'm going to say probably 2 or 3 more laps, and I think we would have saw ourselves with a battle for the race win. Eduardo, then again, you got to remember how much did he have maybe holding back. He had a pretty solid lead there, but the Miller Vinatieri Motorsports driver, Jack William Miller, put a lot of pressure on late in that run to get himself close. Christian Brooks, as I said, for Exclusive Autosport, able to grab his first podium finish as well as a rookie driver in the program. I quickly brought up Kiko Porto because that was the big battle behind Brooks for 4th, 5th, and 6th. It was a lot of fun to watch. Actually, throw 7th in there as well because it was Kiko Porto, Christian Rasmussen, Michael D'Orlando and Reese Gold. Those were the drivers all scrapping it out for that, essentially what was 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Brooks able to hold off the consistent advances of both Rasmussen and then Porto to be able to grab that position. My live timing, let's see if it's getting ready to fire up. I know that we're rebooting the website right now for IndyPro2000.com. There it is. I like it. So we've got that set back up. Stingray Robb, the race winner. Event number 1, his second win of the season. Hunter McElroy second, and Parker Thompson finishing third. Let's have a look at qualifying, though, on the race lineup here for race number 2. It's an all Juncos Racing front row. Stingray Robb alongside Artem Petrov, both drivers getting down into the low 119s. A 119.280 for Stingray Robb, 119.359 the fast times for both of those drivers. So Robb and Petrov on the front row. Stingray will set the pace when they come out at turn number 14. Daniel Frost, a better qualifying run, actually able to find a lap that advanced him quickly up to P3. So Frost in the 68, the driver from Singapore for Turn 3 Motorsport, will now start third for round number 2 of the weekend. Devlin DeFrancesco in the number 17, still the point leader coming into this particular event. He's got about a 12-point advantage, I believe, right now. He will start on the outside of row number 2 in the Andretti Steinbrenner Autosport machine. Row 3 will have Hunter McElroy and Parker Thompson, those drivers finishing second and third in the opening race of this triple header. So we'll see how they fare. Hunter, of course, in the number 18 for Pabst Racing. Parker Thompson in that number 9 for D-Force Racing. Manuel Suleiman and Colin Kaminsky will be on row number 4. Jacob Loomis alongside Corey Enders on row 5. Moises De Oliveira and Nate Aranda, row 6. Antoine Camo and Bob Kaminsky on row 7. Again, we'll take the opportunity to send our best wishes to Braden Eves, the Exclusive Autosport driver and a winner at Mid-Ohio, was involved in that big, nasty wreck in turn 11 yesterday. He finally sent out on social media a little video telling everybody that he's okay. He's got some neck injuries, a little bit of a fracture above his eye as well, but great to hear his voice and see Braden's face. A lot of people jumping on Twitter and Instagram to comment and send their best wishes to Braden. Of course, we do that as well from everybody here at Road to Indy TV and Anderson Promotions and the entire Road to Indy staff. Field now set, folks. We're about to go racing with round 2 of the Indy Pro 2000 category here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Field set, getting ready to get things rolling. A little look over my shoulder. Aaron Likens will give him the green flag. We're underway. Green, green, green. Strong start by Stingray Robb, but the problem with this particular racetrack, you start so far down, everybody gets a big run. Robb all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Good run through there. Devlin DiFrancesco is going to come out the other side, P2. Good start for Devlin. Let's see who else slots potentially into 3rd, 4th, and 5th. One driver kicking up some dust, dropping that right rear out of turn number 2 on the a little dusty part just on the outside of turn 2 as they come to 3. Good start for Stingray Robb. Oh, we got some action further back. Out of move there. One driver cutting the course coming through, I believe. More contact potentially coming down the straightaway. 2, 3, maybe almost 4 wide coming down into turn number 7. Here they come. Tremendous job for these drivers thus far. Look at this. They're throwing these cars around. And cold tires, too. Remember, it takes a while to get these tires up to temp. Only 73 degrees trackside. Probably 92, 93 degree track temp. Just thinking about kind of what we see with the sun through turn number 11 and 12 for the first time. Probably about an 8 or 9 car length lead here for Stingray Robb as he rocks through turn number 13. Look at Devlin DiFrancesco taking full advantage of that start to be able to go to P2. They'll come out of 14 for the first time. We'll give you a full field rundown when they work their way across the stripe. And indeed, the big, long run down. Stingray Robb trying to win his second event of the weekend, following in the footsteps of and the lead of Eduardo Barrichello. Here's a scrap for P4. Not quite enough. That's Daniel Frost and Parker Thompson. Contact there. Coming out of turn number 1. Unsure of the drivers involved. One of them coming over here. That might have been Manuel Suleiman, potentially one of the D-Force drivers getting involved there. I'll give you the rundown as they ran. Stingray Robb was the first driver across the yard of bricks. Then it was Devlin DiFrancesco. Artem Petrov, the driver now into the 3rd spot. 4th and 5th, Parker Thompson and Daniel Frost. 6th, Hunter McElroy. 7th, Manuel Suleiman. That might have been the contact between McElroy and Suleiman. Loomis was 8th, Moises de la Vera 9th, Nate Aranda 10th, Camo in 11th, Enders in 12th, Kaminsky 13th, and actually Colin Kaminsky falling to the tail of the field before they came across the line, so not sure what happened to Colin there. But again, we're not able to provide replays, but I want to say that may have been Hunter McElroy and Manuel Suleiman that got together. They come back on the straightaway here. Stingray Robb looking to put his second lap in the books. 20-lapper for the drivers in Indy Pro 2000, both USF 2000 and Indy Pro, all with one more race still to come, part of the triple header here. Yes, Manuel Suleiman dropping down, waiting for him to come back across the line. Actually, Colin Kaminsky's actually into pit lane based on live timing. Tough one there for Colin Kaminsky. He was strong at the start of qualifying. But indeed, Kaminsky into pit lane. It looks to the potentially the same maybe happened to Manuel Suleiman. I haven't seen him come around to put lap number 2 in the books. Big lead right now. It's 1.1 seconds for Stingray Robb. You think about Stingray's short career here in the road to Indy. His 4th season actually in Indy Pro. He actually jumped into the last season of the Pro Mazda Championship with the older Pro Formula Mazda race car that had been around for so many years. Close to 15 plus years that car has been used as the top level first star Mazda Championship race car. Then, of course, the Pro Mazda Championship after that. Instead of going to USF 2000, he ran that shortened schedule in 2017, then jumped behind the wheel of the new PM18. Last couple of years, he's been getting comfortable with this race car and, of course, able to finally get that race win that he had missed at Mid-Ohio right at the end of July, and then followed it up yesterday. And we talk a lot about the fact that when you get that success for the first time, you're really able to kind of open the floodgates a little bit. After the win at Mid-Ohio, it wasn't a run back to a road course, which might have even helped Stingray a little more. Instead, we went to the oval events, the 2 oval events at Lucas Oil Raceway, and then at Worldwide Technology Raceway. But he was in the fight there as well, was in the hunt for both those races. Ended up finishing, I want to say, 5th or 6th at Lucas Oil Raceway at the top of my head. And then, actually, I'll look at it right here. And then, of course, 6th at Lucas Oil Raceway, 4th at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. And, of course, coming back with that big victory yesterday. Can he hold on here to go back-to-back? That would be big. Devlin DeFrancesco, 0 track time here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway until yesterday when he rolled onto the racetrack for the one and only practice session. So Devlin picking things up quickly, leveraging the start nicely, goes to P2, and we'll start looking at lap times. Both those drivers 1:20.8 last time by. Artem Petrov third. Fourth was Parker Thompson last time by. We'll have a look when they come back here again. Parker indeed, P4. Daniel Frost, 5th. 6th is Hunter McElroy. 7th position, Moises De Oliveira. 8th, Nate Aranda. 9th, Camo. 10th, Jacob Loomis. Both Manuel Suleiman. Manuel Suleiman's out, and it looks to me like Colin Kaminsky back on the racetrack. As they run on track, this is what I think is most interesting. Fast lap so far, 1:20.810 for Stingray Robb. As they run on the racetrack with DeFrancesco second, that point lead for DeFrancesco would come down to just 4. 4 markers. Daniel Frost would be third, back by about 36 points with 187. Artem Petrov would be 4th. Braden Eves actually still would be, I think he'd still be 5th position in points, even though he's obviously not running here this weekend. And as Braden had said, it's going to be probably a couple of months of recovery for him after that incident in turn number 11. So we wish him the absolute best, but strong guy for sure, strong both physically and strong-willed. So I look forward to getting lots of updates from Braden in terms of his recovery. Guy jumped behind the wheel of a kart once again at the Superkarts USA Pro Tour Summer Nationals in Newcastle after the Mid-Ohio event and before the Freedom 90, and was right up front running for race wins. It was impressive to see him get back behind the wheel. 1.3 seconds the lead for Stingray Robb over Devlin DeFrancesco. DeFrancesco, though, of course, showing much better than he did yesterday, and not to take anything away from yesterday, still obviously pushed hard, finishing 4th, started 8th, so a good move forward. And again, like I said, he had never been here before even one time. A lot of these drivers, of course, have been here over the last number of years, have time on this racetrack, and this is not a track you can do on the simulator either, because I believe the only sim is potentially, iRacing has the Formula 1 layout, I think. I don't think it has the exact same layout here, so of course that's an issue. Practice session, Devlin actually ended up P2, which was exciting with a 1:21.0, but kind of everybody dialed things back in for qualifying and getting things rolling. He was actually 8th in qualifying yesterday, coming back up to P4 in the race. And again, as we said, for race number 2 here, qualified 4th and already runs now 2nd. So a really strong run, as we said, for Devlin DeFrancesco. Field kind of settling into a bit of a groove here now. Let's see if Hunter McElroy, I want to say it was McElroy and Suleiman that potentially had the contact in turn number 1. We had just cut away at that point. I think he went off to the side of the track. Let's look at lap times. He's about 0.3 quicker than Daniel Frost. I got a feeling, there's that shot there. The tail of that group. There's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. There's 5th and 6th right there coming through the switchback. That is Daniel Frost and Hunter McElroy. That would be for P5. And I think Hunter, knowing that Devlin DeFrancesco's out front, you got to limit the bleeding here as they run on the racetrack. I want to say around 64 points McElroy would be behind. Hunter had a really rough weekend at Road America. That's really what it comes down to. A couple of 15th place finishers. That put him in a deep hole in terms of trying to win this championship. But he comes back with an 8th in the opening race at Mid-Ohio, then a 6th, then a 2nd. Backs it up with a really impressive run on the oval at Lucas Oil Raceway, gets P2. They struggled a little bit, Pabst did, at the oval at Gateway. They just didn't seem to have the pace they needed. He was 11th, but then bounces right back with a 2nd place finish yesterday. It's been kind of an up and down season for Hunter McElroy, but getting a good feel for this race car. There's a win coming for Hunter McElroy. I have no doubt about that, especially if when we head back to Mid-Ohio. Cross our fingers that we are going to eventually hear some news soon that we'll be going to Mid-Ohio again next weekend. If indeed that does happen, we know that Hunter really started to pick things up. He got quicker throughout that entire Mid-Ohio weekend, finishing off with second. I got to feel he'll unload very, very quickly there at Mid-Ohio and get a chance to potentially score that race win he hasn't got yet. Devlin DeFrancesco still chasing him down. Artem Petrov closing, as is Parker Thompson. It's a 1.6 second lead now. Rob, DeFrancesco, Petrov, Thompson, Frost, and then McElroy. That's Frost and McElroy coming through turn 11. Pretty significant gap then back to Moises de Oliveira's having his best run of the weekend. A 5.2 second gap. He just turned his fast lap at 21.645. Almost a full second quicker than Nate Aranda in 8th. So de Oliveira is in 7th, Aranda 8th, Loomis 9th, and Antoine Camo 10th. Stingray Rob just simply pulling away slowly. Fastest lap of 128.10, 121.012 last time by, so essentially 2/10 off his fast lap. Again, a shout out to those of you who are watching here on the Road to Indy TV app, on the phone somewhere mobily, or potentially on your desktop or laptop at home at roadtoindy.tv or indypro2000.com. Of course, live timing and the live video stream on the indypro2000.com website. Hunter McElroy closed pretty significantly on Frost, but has lost a bit of ground there, as you can see. Front 5 drivers separating up a little bit. Further back, Nate Aranda, Jacob Loomis, and Antoine Camo. Pretty good little battle there for 8th, 9th, and 10th. De Oliveira all by himself in 7th. But Aranda, Loomis, and Camo separated by just less than a second. Jacob Loomis trying to find a way by Nate Aranda. There's 7th in the far background there. That is actually De Oliveira there. Here comes this battle onto the straightaway now as they'll work their way across the yard of bricks. That was a fight further back there that we were watching for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Both drivers, Nate Aranda and Jacob Loomis, not a lot of seat time here in the Indy Pro 2000. For Aranda, really his first full season on the road to Indy. Had planned to do a year of USF 2000, but had an injury, a back injury with an incident at St. Petersburg. Put him out for the season. Able to get himself back into 100% shape and looking at getting this full season here, essentially full season, not running the ovals, did not run either Lucas Oil Raceway or Worldwide Technology Raceway. So on the road courses, and it's been strong. A lot of top 10 finishes for Nate Aranda. Currently running in the 8th spot. Jacob Loomis trying to reel him in. But there's the lead for Stingray Rob, trying to grab his 3rd win of the season. Really kind of shake things up a little bit here. Tighten up those points at the top of the championship. Devlin DeFrancesco, though, taking matters into his own hands as well. Good run to 4th to 2nd. Devlin DeFrancesco started the season off with a 2nd place finish at Road America, backed it up with a P4. His worst finish of the year is a 7th. In the opening round at Mid-Ohio, 2nd in round number 4, 3rd round 5, 4th round 6th. Of course, the win at Worldwide Technology Raceway in 5th yesterday. So essentially 7 top 5 finishes and 4 podiums for DeFrancesco. Looking to get another podium here. It's the consistency that wins. We know that. Race wins are big. You got to knock them out. And this would be the 3rd one for Stingray Rob if he holds on, as we're still only at the halfway point. Stingray really has only one finish outside the top 5 as well, and that was 10th, the opening round at Mid-Ohio. The opening round at Mid-Ohio of that triple header. 4 podiums as well for Stingray, second at Road America in the second race, third in the second race at Mid-Ohio before getting that elusive first victory in Indy Pro, and then, of course, backed it up yesterday. Sixth and fourth on the ovals. Best oval percentage, Devlin DeFrancesco. Average finish of second, first and fourth. Stingray Robb, fourth and sixth. Average finish 5. Same goes for Daniel Frost. 4.5 for Braden Eves. 6 for Petrov, a third and a ninth. 6.5 for Matt McElroy, a second and an 11th. 8th for Parker Thompson, a 10th and a 6th. And 5th as well for Manuel Suleiman, a third at Lucas Oil Raceway. Backed it up with a 7th at Worldwide Technology. 11 laps down, 9 to go. Not a lot of action in this particular run here for Indy Pro 2000. Everybody kind of settling in. I thought we were going to have a battle for P5. There's the gap you can see there coming out of turn number 10 as Daniel Frost has given himself a little bit of breathing room over Hunter McElroy, although Hunter will be happy to get back with another top 5. He wants to be on the podium every race. He wants to be winning every race. Not an easy proposition at all. .9 seconds, the advantage right now for Stingray Robb. To the 121.5 on lap 12. What does DeFrancesco do? That's a little bit off. Yeah, 121.2. I'm not sure what happened there with Stingray. Oh, almost a looping around there. Whoa, that was close for Parker Thompson. Rear end getting away from Parker, trying to roll the center and get some rotation. I don't know if he was trail breaking there, what happened, but that cart got away from him, and that has potentially put him into the grasp, a little closer at least into the grasp of Daniel Frost. Whew, almost got away from him. That was sketchy. Parker will have to dig back in here once again. I just quickly looked back at the monitor, and all of a sudden that thing got super out of shape on him as just kind of at the end of the braking limit as he was kind of rolling off the brakes, getting back on the throttle, and it just got away. I think Parker would likely still stay in 7th position in the points, but still closing up a little bit on some of those behind him. Of course, he'd close up on Daniel Frost and Hunter McElroy. McElroy and Thompson both need a win. They need to go to Mid-Ohio if they can't do it here and roll off the trailer clean and grab that victory. You know, it's a 5-point gap, first back to second. 30 points for the race win, 25 for second, 22 for third, 19 for fourth, and 17 for fifth. And you knock that race win out, and a lot of times it comes if you're quick enough with the fastest laps too, and the most laps. Stingray Robb has led the most laps. There's another bonus point as well. He's got fast lap of the race. There's another bonus point as well. Stingray, of course, with the pole position bonus points, looking for a full 33 points. He's already got the bonus point for pole, already got the bonus point for most laps led, 13 laps of the 20 so far. Got the fast lap where he needs it to be. He's going to cut this thing down to 4 points. But DeFrancesco absolutely limiting the decrease there as he's run second. Anywhere else, and he'd be losing. In fact, you go down one more spot, and we're only 1 point up. There's the top 5, all in the straightaway, heading down to 1. Yeah, Parker Thompson, remember how close he was last time by? Look at the gap. Look how much he lost. And this has allowed Daniel Frost to close up. Hunter McElroy way off now. Look how far back he is. Oh, that's him still there. No, there you go. That's still McElroy there. I thought McElroy was well back. He's still close. all the way back is Moises de Oliveira. So Thompson actually is indeed starting to close back up here on Petrov. Let's have a look at some lap times. What kind of splits we've got going? 21-2 for both leaders. 21-5 for Petrov. 21-2-5-2 for Parker Thompson. Thompson quicker than DeFrancesco last lap. So he's definitely coming. And then there's Frost and McElroy. I thought that McElroy was further back. One driver into pit lane. That might be Antoine Camo from P12. .14 now the gap for Stingray Robb as he continues to pull away. Very similar lap times, he and DeFrancesco, although as I said, Devlin dropping down to a 1:21.534. I'll be interested to see whether or not that's the pace he stays at. Was it just one lap where he had an issue, or is the car starting to go away from him a little bit? There's the battle for fifth. Frost in fifth, Hunter McElroy sixth. De Oliveira all by himself in seventh. Jacob Loomis able to get by Nate Aranda, and he stretched away by 6.1 seconds. So Loomis actually just did a 1:21.334. Jacob Loomis P8. Quicker than DeFrancesco, quicker than Petrov, quicker than Frost, all on that last lap, but quicker than McElroy. Jacob Loomis, last time by, third quickest lap of the lap. So strong. 15 laps down. It'll be actually 4 to go, 16 down when Stingray Robb, the young American, gets back out here onto the front straightaway. $121.4 for Stingray Robb, 121.6 for DeFrancesco. What about Petrov? 121.1. Oh, both he and Parker Thompson, almost exactly the same time, so you could see they've got it even closer to DeFrancesco. 4 to go. We may have a battle for second and third and fourth. Petrov knows this for sure, man. You got to go if you got the leader in front of you. That's what you dig in. Opportunity to really gain more spots to get closer to the championship. As long as you're beating the guy who's leading the points, you're doing the right thing. That's the key. Yeah, another good lap for Jacob Loomis, 121.682. Quicker than De Oliveira. Pretty much the same lap time as DeFrancesco. .3 seconds, we said the lead for Stingray Robb. I believe that may be Bob Kaminsky they're coming around there potentially. Or is that Colin back on the racetrack? That might be Colin Kaminsky. .2 seconds, the lead for Stingray Robb with 3 laps to go. DeFrancesco righting the ship on that last lap. One of the slower cars, I think that's Bob Kaminsky moving to the inside of the racetrack, come back out to driver's right to get cleanly through turn number 7. Bob Kaminsky, veteran driver in the SCCA ranks, running in the Star Mazda Championship, Pro Mazda, now Indy Pro 2000 for the last number of years on occasional starts. Always a pleasure to have Bob with us. Father-son duo in the race with Bob and Colin. Corey Anders out of the race already, as was Manuel Suleiman. Laps winding down to cap off race number 2 of the week for Indy Pro 2000. Lap 18 goes in the books. Lap 3 still the best for Stingray Robb, a 120.810. no one getting that far enough down that they could be challenging him for this fast lap as well. So Stingray Robb looking at a 33-point race, which would bring this championship to within 4 points. Again, remember, these drivers racing for the scholarship to go to Indy Lights. Parker Thompson pushing hard down into the braking zone at turn number 7. Got to get close enough to put that pressure on, right, to see if you can't force an error out of the driver you're chasing down. You never want them to be too comfortable. Parker had that one moment over in turn 1 that probably ended his chance at going to P3, but nonetheless, he's held on. They were catching up to DeFrancesco significantly, but they've kind of plateaued off a little bit here. One more lap out of turn number 14 for Stingray Robb. Young driver out of Idaho. Did a lot of kart racing over his years, moving through the Rotax programs, eventually up into the 125cc shifter kart ranks. Did some time at the Formula Car Challenge at Sonoma. He's had a chance to run a late model stock car as well, some dirt racing. Finally jumped in, as I said, in 2017 into what was then the Pro Mazda Championship, the last year of the old Pro Formula Mazda car. His 49th race in Indy Pro 2000 was the best one. That was the one where he got the win. It was his 49th start. I'll tell you what confidence does for young drivers when they finally start to believe that they can get the job done and they're getting that success. That success fuels the engineers as well. There's a level of trust, I think, that gets amplified. When the drivers tell them what's going on and they're winning races together, it's a language that really starts to connect. Oh, what a day it's been so far. What a week it's been for Stingray Robb. First win at Mid-Ohio. Backed it up with a second win yesterday here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'll tell you, this kid is turning into something special. Out of the final corner, back-to-back jacks across the yard of bricks. Stingray Robb wins again in Indy Pro 2000 competition. A 1.9-second victory over point leader Devlin DeFrancesco. That gap shrinking down to just 4 points. 227 points for DeFrancesco, 223 for Stingray Robb. Artem Petrov, P3. Parker Thompson in 4th. Daniel Frost, 5th. Frost will take over 3rd in the points. 187 points for Daniel Frost. 5th now will be Artem Petrov with 185. And then Braden Eves still in 6th spot in the points. 7th will be Hunter McElray. 8th, Parker Thompson, I believe. Or 7th and, 6th and 7th. The bottom line is this. Stingray Robb, tremendous run. 1.9 seconds to victory. His 3rd of the season, 2nd in a row. And the speed they're showing, it sets up nicely for him to be able to potentially do the same thing that Eduardo Barrichello wants to do, and that's win all 3 races in his respective series. 2 wins for Barrichello in USF 2000. Now 2 wins for Stingray Robb here in Indy Pro 2000, and the championship getting very, very tight as well. If you're watching these Indy Pro 2000 races, folks, we are back on track once again at 4 o'clock this afternoon. That will be the finale for those drivers. They're going to come right back at it, as I said. We're talking 2.5 hours from now, back onto the racetrack for the drivers in this particular category. But before that, at 2:45, so really just about a little over an hour from now, we'll get going with the 3rd race of USF 2000. We hope you come back. Grab that mobile device and click it on again if you're at home watching on your mobile, your laptop or desktop. Again, 2:45 for USF 2000, 4 o'clock for Indy Pro 2000. We do appreciate you tuning in. It's been some great racing. This one not as close as it is in days past, but I expect to see a little bit more racing in event number 3 for all 3 of these categories. We're done here, folks, for this particular one. Come back again at 2:45 for USF 2000. On behalf of everyone at Anderson Promotions and Road to Indy TV, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.
Stingray Robb, 2 wins at the world's greatest race course. That probably feels pretty good, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. This is our 3rd win in a row on road courses, so hopefully we continue that streak this afternoon.
They talked about it during the podium, but it's worth saying again, 49 races on the road to Indy before a win, then you rattle it off at Mid-Ohio, and then you come here and you get back-to-back victories at IMS. How much does confidence really play in your ability to go out there and not just be quick, but be good at racecraft?
We've always said that in order to be super successful at what you do, you got to put your 10,000 hours in. And I think I've got that in there in those 49 races. So it's good to see that we're getting to the results that we need. And hopefully, like I said, this afternoon starting on pole, we got a good car. We'll be able to stay out front, hopefully, and continue that winning streak.
Dudu Barrichello scored back-to-back wins in F2000. I talked to him. I said, is there just something about this track that suits you? Same question to you with back-to-back wins. Is there something about this Grand Prix circuit in Indianapolis that you find a little bit, more enjoyable than other tracks we go to?
Tony, I don't think I find it more enjoyable. To be honest, I think that Juncos Racing has just given me a really great race car. So, running with my teammate up at the front, I've got a lot of laps here. We got a really good race car, and I think that combination really pays out in the end.
Stingray Rob, back-to-back wins. You're going to try and go for 3 later on today. Best of luck and congratulations.
Thank you, and huge thank you to Team Cooper Tire, Road to Indy, all my investors and partners. You guys are awesome, and I'm so thankful to be here.